Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. Woo! I feel good today.
Yes, last day of the year.
I feel good today. Whenever you listen to this, listen, I'm your host, Mr. aka Jeffrey Mr. Right beside me is my beautiful wife, 2 kids, 13 plus years. Together.
Dana Mr. aka Mrs. Mr. And together we are the Misters.
I came in late on that, but it's all good.
It's all right.
It's all good. So question for you. Thank you for listening. Question for you. Scale from 1 to 10. How would you rate your relationship? Scale from 1 to 10. 1 being horribly bad. I don't say horribly bad. 1 being needs a la.
We're working on it.
And 10 being like it's working at maximum efficiency. How would you rate your relationship? What's going good? What's going bad? Because what we're talking about today is relationship resolution, relationship goals, getting into, thinking about, being reflective about what's working. What do we need to start? What do we need to stop? What do we need to continue doing? What do we need to push into to make the best us that we can be? So you may be sitting on the couch, you may be listening on whatever you listen to right now, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, watching on YouTube. We thank you. Appreciate everybody who subscribed.
Yes.
All our day one cousins out here, thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Y'all, I love y'all. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all telling the folks about the podcast, letting folks know about the #1 rated relationship/marriage podcast in the world. Hello, somebody. Yes. I said something.
Yes.
So, how would you rate your relationship? How would we rate our relationship? I guess we'll say, well, no, you want to throw it out? We're going to keep it. Well, it's okay. We don't want to put y'all. We're going to let y'all.
Yes, it's a personal thing. It's between you and your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
How would you rate your relationship? It's something that you guys need to sit down and communicate, especially as we are closing out a decade for 2019.
Or whenever you listen to this. That's true.
But I mean,
that's true. We're right now because it is New Year. You're right.
It's New Year's Eve, so it is New Year's Eve, and so just so grateful for God for allowing us to make it 365 days. 365 days. So biz up to the big man upstairs. We're so grateful for everything that he's done in 2019. So again, between you and your significant other, go ahead and rate it. Like, how would you guys rate your relationship? And then some things that you want to do for 2020 to improve upon your relationship. And so that's what we're going to be discussing today.
It's about growth. It's about continued growth.
Yes.
No matter where you are, you can always get better. No matter how far you're down, you can definitely get better as well. But if both of y'all are listening right now, that's a step in making the right choice about what you're going to do. So we're going to stay here, stay tuned. We're going to get into it. Every episode we love. It's a part of every relationship. If any part is missing, I challenge you to put that part in there. So every relationship, every podcast, every video, we want 3 things to happen.
Yes,
those 3 things are
laugh, learn, and love.
What is that now?
Laugh, learn, and love.
What is that now?
Laugh, learn, and love.
Oh, I feel the theme song real quick before we jump into this part. You want to get the theme song going?
Come on. Of course, why not? I can't make it.
Now, she's been sick, but I told her she's going to have to bring the energy. Okay?
So get
your little swig before we jump into it. Because you can't do this. So if you sing the song, I want you to sing the song with us. I want to do a challenge too about singing this theme song together with your spouse to see what you will, okay? But first thing, all right. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Come on now.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
Hey.
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. Oh, yeah.
Let's start the show.
Oh, don't it feel good? Oh, listen, stay tuned to this episode. I'm energized. I'm ready to go.
Yes.
Ooh.
So kicking off the laugh point, this is the season of proposals.
Ain't it though? You probably scrolled through your timeline.
Yes, there's been a lot of proposals during Christmas. There's going to be a lot of proposals tonight, I'm sure. New Year's Eve, Valentine's. So yes. So this is a season of proposals. If a man...
No, we didn't even do the segment. What's the name of the segment?
Okay.
My bad. That's my fault. That's my fault.
This is a little segment that we like to call
Whose Side You're On, where you, the viewing and listening audience, decides whose side you're on. Mrs. Mister will give her side to a question that she's going to pose, or I will pose, and I will give my side. And you, also the very smart and intelligent and logical listening audience, will decide whose side you're on. So decide amongst each other, and then please share it with us, because we have a little jar that we feel like our points are valid. But like she said before in the previous episode, it's all in fun. But of course, winning is my goal. So with no further ado, here's the whose side you're on question of the day.
Okay. If a man proposes and the woman says no, is the relationship over? Okay.
So hold on with that. Let's start with that. So let me get this right there. So
if a man proposes,
if he proposes,
right,
down on bended,
and the woman says no, is the relationship over?
Boom, boom, boom. What do you say to that first question first? 'Cause I know we got a part B this question.
No, I don't believe the relationship is over. I believe it may be one of those things that you again, communication is so important when it comes to relationships. So apparently the two people are not on the same page. So, but I don't believe the relationship is over. I don't believe all is lost. I believe one of the things is you want to probably just sit down and talk and communicate, again, say, hey, let's go to, now people are doing pre-engagement counseling, which I think is awesome as well. And so you could go to pre-engagement counseling to get both people on the same page to see if that's even, because engagement is just one phase of it. Is marriage, is that long-term, commitment. So I wouldn't say that the relationship is lost or it's over. I just believe maybe it's the reason why that person said no. Whether that person may not be ready, or maybe that person, has other commitment. It's a reason why that person said no. So I will, just take it for what it is.
Okay.
Put your big boy pants on.
Put your big boy drawers on.
And hear her out why she said no, and get to the root of it. It could be that maybe her way of saying, hey, it's time for us to part ways, because I don't see us having a long-term future together.
Okay.
So, and I take things now like this. Some things are blessings in disguise. So so I don't believe the relationship is lost, but hear the person out and be willing to accept what the communication is stating. So
I hear you. So your stake is it is not lost.
No,
if
it's not lost.
Proposes and she says no, they can still move forward in a wonderful way. Okay, good.
I wouldn't say it. They need to talk. Yeah.
Thanks. So Mrs. Mister has opposed. My take is a little different. If I set this up, first I go to K's or J's or whatever letters they have now in the jewelry store, and I purchase this beautiful ring. I have family and friends, and I set this up. I have Brian McKnight singing in the background, and Brian McKnight still sings on those, but if he does, if I have him singing in the background, or Anthony Hamilton, and I get on one knee, the jet flying with "Will You Marry Me?" and I have those things, and I have somebody playing with a violin in the background, and some doves are released at that place, and that woman says no.
Now, you didn't do any of that, so.
Hold on. That's not the point. What I'm trying to say is, if that woman says no, fellas, kings, know your worth. She is dead to you.
Wow.
You walk off, and you know your worth. You keep that ring and you give it to somebody that deserves it.
Wow.
Because she don't deserve
it's over?
you. It's over. It is over. It's over. Because what we finna do now? We finna go get some.
You wouldn't even hear her out or what she said no?
What we need to talk about that this time? It is over. Because most men, unless you're shooting a closed blind shot, she's already giving you the ring size on her stuff. What's she giving you ring size on her stuff for if she don't want it? If she's saying no to set you up like that? And that's another thing for me.
So you'd rather for her to be pressured in saying yes. So you rather for the person to be saying yes. You want her to lie and be pressured to saying yes. And then a few years down the road or whatever,
crash and burn later.
Oh, okay.
Undoubtedly so.
Okay then. You heard that.
So fellas, if she says no, let's say you get New Year's or Valentine's or her birthday or Mother's Day or I don't know, like at a bar mitzvah or something, and she says no, she is dead to you.
Meanwhile.
So you heard my take.
Meanwhile.
No, cause what you finna do next? What are y'all about to do next as you leave from that place? Are y'all about to go and be like, so you hungry now? You didn't crush my hopes and dreams in front of everybody.
No, that's not what. No, that's
you're
what.
a savage. Crushed this.
So you were the first. Okay.
Yeah, to
all
latch
right.
it, and then you can ease off later. Cause you know what? Maybe we should ease this off later and do that. Now you're gonna have to get a ring back. Don't say yes.
Oh no. It's a gift.
It's not. No, it's a gift pending.
No,
it's a pending. I'm not saying that.
No, it's a gift.
It is pending this marriage to be able to conclude.
Once you give that ring, it is a gift.
With a shady sharp face. No, if you let's get this. We gotta get this right. If you trying to say this, you telling women, because there's a lot of single people that listen to the show too as well. We thank y'all for listening to the show. Appreciate y'all investing in yourself and your future spouse. It'll be better than that. But you telling them if they propose and they say yes and they walk off like Willie did in a different world and they walk off and they're supposed to keep the ring?
Yes.
Oh, let me tell you something. I will be Liam Neeson off of I will find you and I want until I get that ring back. I'm not gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna be like that lady who.
So you would want my ring back?
Yes, I want the ring back to give it to somebody else that deserves it.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
They're gonna take it back.
Time out. Let me tell you something. So I was watch this show called 90 Days Fiancé. Don't judge me.
She was. It's
but
all 4 hours of the episode.
But it's so amazing how things work. But no, that really happened where this guy proposed to this young lady, but he used the ring that he had used to propose to somebody else.
We're gonna bring it up in another topic too.
Don't do that, fellas or ladies or whoever proposes.
A ring is a ring.
Because hold on, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Useless?
The ring is because when you purchase that ring, you purchase with the person that you was with in mind. Don't give me a ring that you planning to propose with somebody else, and she found out about it, and she was hurt. Like she was like she threw the ring back at him, and I don't blame her. I would throw it, but no, I probably would throw it.
Why? Why though?
Because you bought the ring with the other person in mind. You bought the ring with the other person in mind.
Let me get this right.
So my thing is,
if I can ask a follow-up
let me
question.
put it right now.
Let me ask a follow-up question.
There would be no giving the ring back. So let me tell you right now.
No,
no, you're not.
Know your words, fellas. Know your words. Get that ring back. So what you're saying is that any ring that's been proposed to the lady and she says no, that ring is now useless? You gotta burn that ring and throw it away?
No, she keeps the ring. Or he keeps the ring.
You say no and keep it. Listen, please.
What I'm saying is
if
she says no, then no. I mean, the engagement's not official. Because she's not getting it. She says yes at first and change her mind or whatever.
I hope y'all listen to this. Please. If you don't,
but I'm gonna tell you something. Some people though, they would just give the ring back. I think if they feel like, hey, we're not going anywhere, some people will give the ring back, especially like, you know what, I just count my,
Some would not. I've seen women wear it on their right hand as a piece of jewelry. Oh, you're not finna shine on me. Shine on me. Not in this place.
Yes. So, but anyway, put in the comments.
Well, that was
y'all put in the comments, let you know whose side you're on.
Mrs. Mr. or Mr. right there. And if you can go on social media on Instagram, mr.mrs.mister, that's Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Or on Facebook, the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast show. So please let us know. This is a heated topic. We're going to come back to something like this. This is heated. Just get my blood boiling to know there's a man out there, just right there, that's sitting back and looking at us.
And ladies, if you propose to a male, if you ladies, you propose to a male, and he says no, again, I think the same things apply. Like if a female proposed to a male, Which that's becoming popular now.
I've seen it too.
Yeah.
My question is this: who get the ring though? If you propose to me, let's say you propose to me, am I supposed to wear an engagement ring, or you bought an engagement ring for yourself? So you show me a ring, you get down. I don't know, you have to get down.
Oh, I'm not gonna get down. I mean, but it's about personal preferences.
Is that you trying to hate on me?
No. It's about personal preferences. That's not me. I'm just telling you, that's not me. That's not who I am. I would never propose. I would have never proposed, but that's me. But I could be, you know, that's just me. But I'm not knocking anybody that does, you know. So
but my question is, and maybe you guys can answer this too: who gets the ring if the woman's proposed? Does the man put an engagement ring on now, and do they go back and shop for a woman's engagement ring, or just like she has something she's proposing to him with, right? I don't know. I don't know what this means. Is she saying that, hey, this is the ring that I want for myself, you put that ring on me now, or is this the ring for you to say? So when I see my boys like, hey, fellas, look what I got. I got an engagement ring. I am checking a little bit. Well, what I want to know is, please let us know. Do you know the answer to that question?
I don't know. I mean,
Somebody
I know that.
Somebody hit us
I know
up in
they actual purchase a ring for them. Some ladies I've seen, they do a cute something, like it could be like a ring with their favorite team on, or I've seen people.
I've been done having a little Fortnite ring.
Yeah, or I've seen it.
Listen, don't set yourself up. Let me be clear for ladies, because we can move on to the next part of this part. Because I really want to know if somebody has proposed. No judgment. A little bit. No judgment. No judgment. No, I'm tripping. I'm just, because I do comedy. That's just the way I have to do it. But I really want to know, though, just out of not knowing what happened.
Ladies, would you propose to a male?
Yes.
That's another question.
Yes.
Would you propose to a male?
Yes. I'm going to drop that on.
And then, fellas, on the flip side of that, if a female does propose to you, how would you feel? Do you feel like it would question your man? Like, how would you feel?
I would feel a little...
How would you feel? If I were to propose to you, how would you feel?
I would feel like myself. I feel like I need to go shopping for some latest Fruit of the Looms.
No.
It's not. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, and I try to be transparent and honest. Y'all can drag me through because I don't care. But what I do, I want to give y'all the honest feedback, and this is where you can get the honest feedback, fellas. If you propose and you saying yes, I would love. I'm sure there's some stories that has worked out. I think for me as a man, I just feel like it's just little. Because if I wanted to propose at the time, I would have. Or, you know what I'm saying? So now it just makes you think like, do you tell her no and crush her? Because women can't take the no's that we take. We have been shut down for years. Women can't take the no's. Listen, as a man, we got to shoot our shot for everything to introduce y'all. Hey, excuse me, how you doing, beautiful? How you doing? Get your hands. You see what I'm saying? We've been hardened by life to be able to take the no's. We've been hardened by life. Take the no's. So we're able to take those. Y'all have been more y'all have been the pursued. We've been the pursuer for the most part of life. So now to switch those roles around.
But times are changing.
I mean,
times are changing. So I think, people are.
Can y'all take those L's we take? Yes. Can women take the same L's we take? Y'all can take the same L's we take.
Most definitely.
Y'all can take the same L's we take.
Most definitely.
Y'all can take the same L's we take.
Yes.
Skip.
Anyway, we're gonna move on.
Oh, y'all, listen. Okay. Tell somebody about this episode too. Go ahead and page them that say, get on your podcast and download this now, because I need to hear from y'all.
Yes. So we're gonna move right along to the learning part. Okay. What is the one thing you need to do or change in this relationship to make the best us? Yeah, going back to what we're talking about, the topic for today is relationship goals, talking about relationship resolutions. Like many people make New Year's resolutions, I don't know if you do or not, but just in terms, it's good to stop and reflect. So whether you listen to this on a New Year or some other time, it's good to stop and just say, hey, what's working, what's not working, what can I do personally, and be reflective for yourself. So the first question you ask right now is being reflective. What's one thing you feel like that you want to work on in this next phase? I'll let you go first.
You want to go first? Okay. For me, I think it is. I guess a couple of things that I'm working on right now. Like I'm reading a book right now on boundaries. I don't have that book with me, but I don't have it right now. And I'll post that for y'all on social media. But just in terms of like boundaries, being able to push into setting the boundaries to where what we say matters. And so like the time with God, the time with each other, like uninterrupted time with each other, and then time with family, time with friends, and all those other things that pull at us. So I think for me, it's like being able to push into like setting those times, setting boundaries with those times, and making sure those things happen consistent with everything we have going on, with all the things we have going on. So I think for that, and then second one, for me, I know you said just one, I'm going to say one real quick, is being able to effectively communicate in a way that evokes what I feel and then where I stand on different things, and then be able to listen effectively on what you say, on what those things are, and then be able to actively implement what I say I'm going to do. So being able to walk and talk and be reflective and just continue to grow in those things. So I think for me, that's one of the biggest things. There's several more, but just one of the things. You have something?
Okay. One of the things that I know I would want to work on for this year is.
This is gonna be good. When you do that before you say anything.
I want to question my feelings before I fly on them.
Say more. Do you have some?
That means when there is a disagreement, I believe like in work relationship, like working dynamics, like I have learned like if people disagree or whatnot, I've learned to just like, okay, cool, just let it go.
Okay.
But when it comes, I think because I do that, I think sometimes for people like me, I call us introvert extroverts, meaning that no, that doesn't mean that. But we are naturally, for me, I naturally like to avoid conflict. Okay. And so if somebody disagrees with me, I'm just like, okay, I just let it fly. But when it comes down, I think when you do that so often, and when it comes down to my personal relationship, when we have a disagreement because I have suppressed things and other channels of my life and other dynamics of my life, when it comes to this particular relationship, I let my emotions get the best of me, because then I'm like, if nobody else should hear me, you should hear me. And so versus me questioning my feelings and asking myself, why do I feel that way? All of that, I just fly on my emotions. And it's a meme that I saw, and I got so tickled. It was like, be careful of the quiet people, because they could clear the room in like 5. They could clear the room. and that's me. Like, no. It's just that like people who are nice and super nice, like we typically like, okay, I think, but then with something major that we consider major happens in our life, then we just like, what? You go. So that's one of whatever. So that's one of the things that I'm working on in my personal relationship, is just like, don't go from 0 to 100. Don't go from 0 to 100. Just question my feeling when it comes, and it's usually just with Jeff that this happens. Because whenever I'm like, usually it's just like, okay, but I think because I do that so often with so many other people, I'm just like,
I get all the backlash.
He get all the backlash. And so that's one of the things that I want to work on for 2020, is question, like being more reflective, like, okay, Dana, before you go off, why do you feel that way? And that sort of thing. So that would be one of the things that I would like to work on going forward. Now, don't get me wrong. Jeff is aggravating. He is aggravating, and like Jeff is like this.
This is not a part of the question.
No. So he's like this, and so a lot of times he try to push me over, and so when he try to push me over, that's when I just go off. But it's one of the things I want to be more reflective on, and be like, you know what? Namaste. As Malia said, namaste. And just figure out. But now they know who Malia is.
I mean, some people are watching the first time every time. So,
yeah.
Thank you.
But namaste, and just be more reflective. Like, man, why do I feel that way? Is it something that happened during that day that pushed me over, that I suppressed it, and then when Jeff asked me something, it just pushes me over. So that's one of the things I want to work on. So yeah.
I want to say something real quick. Just a very snippet. This is why I create this podcast, to hear that answer. God, you are wonderful. I would say you are all knowing and powerful, and I want to just thank you in this moment and bask in the reflection and just soak this in, because this is the first time in 13 years and plus years, 14 years, whatever years we've been knowing each other. I just want to bask for a moment. So thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm working on what I did was not jumping in and saying anything. I just wanted to be reflective and listen to that. So we're practicing what we're talking about.
Yes.
So the article that we're talking about is 16 relationship resolutions every couple should make. Is by Charlotte Hilton Anderson of Reader's Digest. So 16 relationship resolutions every couple should make. We won't go in depth on all of those. You can definitely read that article. We're going to kind of run through those and just kind of harp on some of those that really make sense to us. And you do the same thing as well. So you may want to pause or whatever that and then just kind of jump into it. So, oh yes. So, wow. I just want to, oh, look at the Lord. Ain't he good? Oh, I almost run around this podcast 7 times. Oh, ooh. So yes, okay. That's good. That was good stuff. I like that. You kicking this thing off. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, somebody.
I'm being reflective in 2020.
That's all any man asks. Wow.
And woman.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. That's true. Some men don't do it to me. You're right.
So moving on.
So the first one, number 1 is avoid the automatic no trap. Avoid the automatic no trap where you just automatically say no. Anything you automatically say, oh, hey, you want to do that thing we did for my birthday? No. You want to go? You want to watch this? No. You want to go shopping with me? No. You want to work out with me? No. And so it's an immediate thing. If you notice when you first start dating somebody, you're not automatically no. You automatically almost yes to stuff you wouldn't normally do.
Everything. Yes and everything.
Look at them. Yes. Look at them almost kill me. Oh, that's so sweet. And so, but once time goes by, you typically go back to who you are. You have to be reflective. I see what I did there? And then just avoiding that automatic no trap. You never know what you're going to like. We've done things before that's like, oh, this was dope. Yeah. This was dope.
Yes. Be a partner, not a player. Resolve that you will focus on what is best for the couple and not just what's best for you individually.
Oh, you can stop right there. Oh, you can put a coin in that thing right there. Say that one more time for the people in the back who didn't hear that one more time.
Yes. Resolve that you will focus on what is best for the couple and not for the individual. So mainly you looking at what's in the best interest for the unit, versus the individual.
Yeah. So being able to like make it one is that's the toughest part I think of with that piece. And so like bridging together what's best for the individual, thinking about their needs too over your own needs is a tough thing. Number 3 is don't turn a molehill into a mountain. Yes. Those small things, the socks on the floor, and you going, he don't love me because that, or she didn't even. Right, she went shopping. I don't know. You might want to talk about some of those things. Don't just let it go through, but don't over. Yeah.
But right, and I would like to say something. If something does bother you, make sure you address it when it first happened versus like letting it pile up. Because
who is this? Who are you, girl? Give me some sugar.
The Lord provides wisdom.
Listen, He does. And I want to give a testimony right now. It's testimony service. No, it's a good.
But yeah, so make sure, like, if something does bother you, it's fine if something bothers you. You're human. So we're not saying don't address it. What I'm saying is address it head on before it becomes that mountain. Because if that person, like, I know one of the things for me, I love neatness. I love cleanliness, and the Lord. So it was really easy for me when we first. And then now we got 2 little ones who are almost similar, very similar to him. They love to keep stuff on they're almost quarters, right? And so it drives me insane. And so usually when I clean the house, like, and then like and he says, he's like, anytime you clean the house, you just snap. But that's because I'm just like
Exactly.
But it's one of the things because now I've communicated this. It don't work for them. All 3 of them. So this year I'm finding something different. Hold on, I said it. This year I'm doing something a little bit differently.
Okay,
I'm going to put everybody. We're going to do chores charts. And I told the kids now that they're getting older, if they want, everybody's going to get a budget and all of that stuff. And so if they do their chores, you know, they're going to have to work for money now. So, yeah. And Joe
Listen,
Joe
I've
have
been
to
working
work
for free.
too.
I've been slaving for 12, 13 years of slave. It's a new movie I'm on right now.
So, but yeah, so just make sure you address it head on.
And find a solution with those points, right? So, like, addressing it, trying to take the most, like you said, out, taking the emotion out. Why do I feel emotional about this place? It may be something that's a small thing. And then come up with a solution. Say, hey, what's the solution we can come up with together and not demanding that person? Because you can't make anybody do anything.
Right.
You can do things. So it's
Right.
good. What number
This is your favorite one.
What number is this? I forgot what number. Canada.
This is 4.
Okay, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 4. Don't forget to have fun. Somehow, show your teeth off. That's why they in there for. Don't forget to have fun, right? Don't forget that. Many times life is so busy. Many times what's going on. You got work that's pulling at you. You got the kids need stuff. You got to go back and forth. And and at the end of the night, sometimes don't forget to have fun. So the Lord gave you those yams for a reason. Huh?
Not only that,
no,
but it's doing other things besides the bedroom. There are other things that you can
You can get yams in the front room.
No,
I had yams. Yams like
that question. Hold on. I don't want you. I just don't want people thinking it's just about the bedroom.
Yeah.
With that article, what it's also talking about is doing things that you both like to do together. Whether that's bowling, whether that's going to the movies, whether that's rock climbing, whether that's hiking, doing things that make you laugh. Whether it's going to a comedy show, whatever it takes.
You see, Mr.
You know, so whatever it takes. So I don't want it to be.
Oh no, that's not what I was.
Yeah,
no, that's not what I was.
Although that is fun, but there are other things too. That's
not the end of the point. But having fun, asking them, what do you consider fun, right? And then you take initiative to do one or two of those things they said. So they may say yams, they may say, like you said, rock climbing, bowling, whatever. They may say watching a movie outside of something that you would want to watch.
Right. Definitely love scary movies, and I'm not a fan of scary movies.
That would fill my love tank so much if she would voluntarily do that to say.
I probably watched This Is Us, not This Is Us. What's the name of the movie?
No, it was called
Get Out. I probably watched Get Out.
But it wasn't. I wanted her to watch it because of me, and that would have made it. I try to throw him off the glass for the win. I want you to win. Okay. I want you to win it.
Thank you.
Hashtag. So your turn. This is
okay. Answer this tough question honestly. Come up with a list of things you could do to improve your relationship. Instead of saying what your partner should or could do better, consider how you contribute to the challenges and how you can work on your part. After all, your power lies with yourself. You simply cannot change another person. I think sitting down together versus pointing out all the flaws of your spouse. How about you guys come with a list? Okay, here are our challenges. This is what I'm contributing as far as like the challenges, and how can I help my part? Because the only thing that I can do is just I can only change Dana, right? I can only change Dana. I can't change Jeffrey. And the thing about it is that's tough because naturally I'm a control freak, so I want to, like, you know, I think you should do it this way because I feel like this way is better, you know, but it's unrealistic for me to feel like that I would be able to change him, and it's unrealistic for him to feel like he could change me. You can only control you, right? So because, you know, you can maybe control your kids for temporarily, but you can only control you. So work on you when it comes to your marriage relationship or your relationship. Work on you, and then, you know, explain like, this is what I feel like I'm contributing to this challenge, and you know, for even like, for example, finances because that's one thing that I feel like most marriages have issues with.
Them dollars.
And so, because again, we discussed early on in the thing, there's naturally a spender and a saver. And so for me, it was just, I was a spender. And so if that made an impact on our relationship, I was like, okay, I know I probably spend more than what I should be, so this is what I'm going to work on, versus me eating out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I just do dinner, you know. So that's just an example. Now I'm not saying this. I'm not saying that was a real, but that's just some things that you could work on.
She had stock in a couple of restaurants around. Real quick, for the next, I'll let you jump into the next one too, since that was one you kind of picked.
Well, we are, since we already discussed that one. But again, question your feelings before letting them fly. When you get upset before you lash out, first ask yourself why. That's one of the things I discussed earlier. Ask yourself why, ladies or men, or like, why do I feel this way? Emotions make you cry sometimes.
Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow.
So yes,
oh,
so
wow, oh, wow, oh,
you know,
wow.
just so we have to have an emotional check, and it's fine to get emotional. We're not saying that. It's just you have to what's driving that emotion and get to the root of it.
Yep. And this is number 7, I think. Love is spelled out Time. Ooh, this is one of my favorites because I love quality time. It's one of my love languages, and so it's uninterrupted. Yeah. No phone, no children, no nothing else. Just us together in the sense of what it is. And love is spelled in quiet time. So thinking about how do you spell love and what it is it through purchases? Is it through financial things? And there's no way around spending quality time. The way you got a chance to know each other was through spending time together, uninterrupted time together. When we came up, we didn't have phone play like they had. Like it was 10 cents a text message when we first started. So you didn't have a lot of things that were put in that
minutes.
Yeah, minutes. So I can call you until after 9 on the and weekend after 9 the weekend.
Oh my goodness, those were the days now.
But I think that kept us because there was no other thing. You didn't have the internet. You couldn't search, but we didn't have no internet playing. You didn't have a phone that had capability.
Facebook came on when we were in college.
Yeah.
Was that sophomore, junior year of college?
Yeah,
junior year, because I remember, because you remember it had to be at the dot.
Yes, you had to have a college email address, but you couldn't just be any random person. But with that though, there was not a lot of things that were pulling at your attention at all times. Now you got news 24 hours a day. Yeah. With us, it's just like, hey, what you want to eat? You sit down, you can have a conversation with each other. And so now I think of many things like just being able to mindlessly scroll. I was talking to a partner of mine, he was like, man, I just be with my lady or my family. He's just like, I just be mindlessly scrolling. I don't even know that I'm doing that wise. And so many times it can be a part of what you're doing, even during the time. So just thinking about like, what do I need to do in terms of time, of spending quality time. So putting the phone down, cutting the TV off, put the internet, put the work emails, put the video games, put the kids away, the dog, the cat, the monkey, whatever you got there, and spend time together.
And it says happy couples tend to have at least 8 to 10 hours a week of quality time. This can include date nights, but also things like household project or chores.
I think that meant like
y'all can see how that just made me.
You see how we look for what we look for. I was looking for time. You're looking for the chores. He's like, chores, small. If you listen to other things, I mean, small chores. See?
No. But I think, and it's also cooking together. Working out together. So
yams.
8 to 10 hours. So think about that and try to like be conscious of that as you go into the new year. Like, man, okay, let me try to time out. And it's okay, even if you have to put that person in your Google Calendar or stuff like that.
Who is this woman?
Put it down and just be like, okay, it's 7 days in a week. Okay, if they say 8 to 10 hours, right? So that means one of these days you got to at least spend 2 hours. Okay, and then the rest of the days you have an hour.
Don't do it like prison time. You got 17 more minutes. 17 more minutes I got to spend time with you. And you want to be something you can
just be conscious of it. So 8 to 10, especially like Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays and Sundays you probably get more of the time in. So during the week it may just be 30 minutes. So, just 30 minutes a day. So just make sure you just be conscious.
Uninterrupted though. So I mean you got to put your stuff away, put everything away. Yeah. Uninterrupted time. It's going to be hard for us. So we're going to come back to that.
Yes. Say the 2 most important relationship words.
What are those 2 words? What's the 2 most important relationship words every day?
Thank you. The 2 most important words in a relationship is thank you. I think most people may say it's love you. It could be, but thank you. I think a lot of times we may take our spouse for granted. Mm-hmm. We don't realize the things that they do for us. So even if it's, them rubbing your feet, say thank you. Or them bringing you a glass of orange juice, say thank you. What if that person is, giving your kids a bath? Say thank you. It's just thank you. Please and thank you. I think, manners are so important. Mm-hmm. So, and that's one of the things. And then just keep in mind, especially if you have kids, they are watching you. So you want them to be respectful of people. It's just a people quality. It's not even just about your relationship, but please, thank you. Just take you along. Just being kind can take you further in life. So just say thank you.
There you go.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you
for what you're doing. So yeah, so stop there. Let them know thank you. Next one is remember it's not always so personal.
Don't take it personal. Drop my phone.
Oh my goodness. Don't take it personal. So yeah, don't take it personal. Keep it light. Even when they come at you,
yes,
with the fury, with the emotion, with the chores not done, and they come with the anger face. Respond back with comedy, with something that's fun. Try to keep it light, but still, deal with the issue. But you don't have to deal with it with knives and swords and whatnot too. So being able to kind of push that. So keeping it light. As Mr. get back on. Go to the next one. Dirty dishes in the sink. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Now this is me. This is why this is my thing. One of my pet peeves is seeing food in the sink that you didn't wash out. Oh, it just angers me to no end. And so I think we're reversing this. Most times women are that way. And so, but I'm that way with her.
That's the only thing.
It's not the only. It's 2 or 3 more. But that's not what. But like the rice. Like she ate some rice yesterday. I looked at her and I was like, who left this rice? And so.
That's great the thing, but if you don't. Yeah.
I can see no food in there. But that's just my own personal thing. Yeah. But I think it's just how we came up. Some people's like, if you leave one fork in there. I was talking to some of my friends, Wanda and Marcus, the ones like this. She's like, don't leave a fork. Marcus left a fork in there. She's like, wake up and go watch the business. He's like, oh, I didn't even leave with a fork in there. So it's just like, but like, let it go. You know what I'm saying? Make fun of it. Still kind of get to it too. And the other person, if you know that's something they like, do it for them and say thank you to it. Like the person that so you watch it out saying thank you.
Yeah, and I love what this states. It says everyone wants to be loved and accepted regardless of their faults. This year, resolve to pay attention to what your partner's goals and desires are and focus on what they can teach you about the relationship. And when your own personal insecurities arise, they will do the same for you and you can grow together with acceptance and love. Mm-hmm. So again, at the end of the day, we all just want to be loved and accepted, especially when it comes down to our spouse. And so if you feel like that person is constantly picking at your flaws or something like that, you could feel isolated and your personal insecurities can arise. So I think before we react to or attack our significant other their flaw, remember how you will feel when they attack your flaw.
Yeah, so being able to say that, we'll talk about that in a coming episode too, to kind of, because you don't want to like hold it in, but you don't want to nag at it too. So what way you do it too. So
it's just the way you could do it.
Yes, that's the way to do it. The next one is don't throw away those vacation brochures.
I love vacations.
As you can tell from the jubilant sounds that come from that thing. So sometimes coming off the holidays and whatnot too, like moving into different things, it can be flat. Doing this with the budget in mind, I'm more of the budget person. I love to travel as well with those things. I think you've come along with the budget as well now. So I think like being able to balance those, but think during holiday seasons or different times, saying, hey, I'm not going to get as much there. I'm going to store some money up to do a weekend, just go somewhere, just maybe a drive or something. So something to kind of keep something to look forward to. In vacations, we try to vacation on our like anniversary time or different times like that, and throughout the year too. But it's planning those times too. But just having something to look forward to.
And I would say this too. Vacation doesn't necessarily mean always having to hop on a flight or, going and staying at the most expensive. Sometimes you can do a staycation right there in the city, depending on what your budget. The key is getting away just together. That's the main key. Whether it's even driving, and we're in the Mid-South area, driving to Nashville or something like that, it's just the fact of getting away together. So I think a lot of times when people think of vacations, they automatically think, oh, well, you know what, we can't do a vacation because of XYZ. And I get it. So definitely make sure it's in your budget, but also make sure you put in time, even if it's just a vacation could be a night away, So just keep that in mind as you're planning. The main goal is just, especially if you have kids, you just need that time just to get away just together. So
yams without kids is some of the best. Some of the best. She hates when I say yams. That's why. See, the thing is, if you say yams more, I'll say yams less. That's so.
Nothing was not working.
So the couple that serves together, this is the next one. The couple that serves together stays together. So finding something you can serve, a passion, doing something, volunteering, feeding the homeless, going out, doing cleanups or like that, mentoring. Like we started mentoring before we had kids, like mentoring and big brother, big sister wise. So we did those together. We had a brother and sister that were mentoring, so we went out together with them too. Got together a little bit. So yeah, so that's one of the things. The next one is stop making assumptions. Stop making assumptions, assuming something. Many times it comes off things that you've experienced before in the past. Like, oh, didn't he answer the phone? Oh, he must be out there doing it. She must be out there doing something. So stop making assumptions. Communicate that fear you have. The assumptions comes from fear. So stop making assumptions. Communicate them. Say, hey, you know what? When this happens, this makes me feel this way. Like I don't want to feel this way, but that's the way it makes me feel. Not point at what they're doing, but just saying this happens. It makes me feel this way. Let them communicate that too. So when those things come up, they can be cognizant. Saying, oh, let me make sure I call this person now because I'm working late. Like let me make sure that I'm communicating out to them so they know, because I know this is a trigger for them or something that may happen. Let me make sure to push that so they don't make assumptions. But don't make assumptions on your end as well. Do the 3 A's every day. You know what those 3 A's are? It is attention, affection, and appreciation. Giving your attention to your spouse or your person that you're with. Give them some affection, a little bit of. I like that. That's another one of mine right there. Hey, he's knocking it down. And appreciation. I think we talk about like saying thank yous, writing the cards, writing letters. Do the same thing you did when you started, before all the stuff got there, and then just keeping it in mind. It takes work. It takes work to kind of get those things. Make 5 your lucky number. Researchers find that happy couples have a ratio of at least 5 positive interactions for every 1 negative interaction. You see that? 5 positive interactions for every 1 negative interaction. So if you're going to nag them about that side, go put them yams on them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just doing this now to But that's true though. It's true though. That could be something you can say, hey, you know what? Like, this brother been doing something. Or, I don't know, sometimes it's reversed. Sometimes the fellas are holding the yams back for a lady. So sometimes fellas, you may just go in there, you know what I'm saying, and put the little yams on the, you know what I'm saying? That's what she desires in the sense of that. And so it's like that. Or, like, it could be in terms of like, you know what? I haven't written a letter to this person in a while. Let me do something. You know what I'm saying? Just out of that. But not letting those negative, because you can compound on those. The negative interactions we have, if we sit on those, could have ripped us apart way long before this point. But it's like making a choice not to choose to be like, hey, this is not going to be. And so 5 to 1. So if y'all get an argument,
you make up. Have 5 positive interactions.
5 positive. Smile, tell them thank you. Yams, go out to eat, watch a movie or something they want to do, scary or not, whatever you want to do. Put some on them and get to that point. We have to schedule a daily debrief.
Oh Lord, now that's a big topic.
They preaching that these last ones coming home with us. You want to read this? You want to read this?
Yeah.
This is something I would love this.
They said they encourage couples to make a resolution to schedule 15 to 20 minutes each day for a number of reasons. You have something to look forward to throughout your day. You demonstrate to your partner that you are a priority and the relationship is a priority. You can use this as a time to show your partner care and support. The point is to spend time talking every day.
Oh, so tell us why that may be a difficult thing. Why is that?
Just because life happens. And then I know for me, like, which has been different lately because, we've been able to spend a little bit more time together because, just because of work and stuff like that being off. But it's just like when you get back into full swing of things, you're just like, you go from sun up to basically to late. And so from when I get home, it's time for me just to like, woosah. and Jumper is the opposite. So I have to make an extra conscious to be like, okay, let me just hear what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, and discuss and all of that stuff. So it takes work for me. It like I said, it just takes work for me because for me, at that point, I'm just like, let me just woosah, just reflect on the day, reflect on just like it's been, the day of what it is. Trying to still spend time with the two beautiful children that God gave us to. And then, still ask them how their day, which we have our conversations to and from school. And then when we get home and we're talking and stuff like that. And so just making sure that me and him have that one time, that one-on-one time as well.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, to me that comes more natural for me.
It's natural for him. Yeah.
Like, to me, like, I look forward to those moments. So I won't give out all of my energy throughout the day. So I'm like, I gotta say that for.
See, I go hard all day, every day.
You need to go less hard because it's harder. Because now, which I think this is probably something that most couples deal with too. I think we may be like an example of most couples there of like sometimes men work all the time and they like, look, I just want a beer, I just want to sit back, I just want to turn ESPN on, I want to mindlessly not.
I'm the man when it comes to that.
Exactly, that's what
I'm the man.
That's what it is. Yeah, you're the man.
I'm the man.
That's true. That is true. I agree with that point. And so, but I think when it's men that's doing that, I think they've been told, like, guys, you got to be present in those moments on whatever you got to do. So you can't do the overtime. You can't do those things because it's taken from the lady there. I think this is a good, healthy reverse of what this is. I think now because it's the lady, I wonder what it would be the same, is it the same energy? Because ladies be like, that man needs to come home, he needs to talk to you and do those things. Now, y'all would never, if I was the same way, I don't know how we would be. Like, if I was the same way, like, well, I think we'd be passing ships in the wind, so it's good that at least one person,
needs to be,
is the one like, hey, have we connected today? Have we spent our 15, 20 minutes today?
And Jeffrey is that person, and I appreciate you for being that person. Yeah, you're welcome.
Just come up with the team.
Anyway, our time is winding down. Yeah, that's all,
right
16. That's all 16. You can look the article. You can put the article down in the comments.
Yes. So we'll take 16 relationship resolutions every couple should make by Charlotte Hilton Anderson. You can see that now if you want to look it up now, or you can check. I'll post that as well on social media. So the love part. This is where we've laughed, we've learned, and the love part, real quick, is ask your partner of the 16 things that we talked about. What is one that I could work on that would mean the most to you? And you see, this is what I thought about this question is not you thinking of, because you may have something too, you're just like, hey, and it may be viable, right? So it may be the same things, but it's always interested to ask open-ended questions
with your spouse,
to your spouse to hear what they have. And it means that to me, because I'm one of those people, and I don't know if everybody else, it may be different wise, and yours may be different, it may be the same thing if you listen or whatever too, but to me that means so much that you took the time to ask me the questions and then to act on that too. The same thing too for myself is like, am I asking Mrs. Mister what means the most to her, and then am I taking action on those things? One thing you spoke about like a few months ago, you said, hey, I want you to take initiative on some things about like planning date night or doing things like that. And so I was like, I'm gonna tell her. So what I did was I tried to call her mom and try to get her to watch the kids and set up something for Vegas. So did that move your love tank something?
No, that did. So basically, for Jeff and I, we really don't do Christmas gifts. We don't.
She got all this stuff.
Because I just believe God blesses us. He's blessed us, and so we do things throughout the year. We give throughout the year. Mm-hmm. So Christmas, in my opinion, is about the kids and giving to others. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the things. We used to give gifts and stuff early on in our relationship, but now he don't need nothing, and I don't need nothing.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. So it shocked me when he surprised me. He set up the arrangements with my mom and all of that stuff, because he knows I love getting out of town, especially if it's somewhere warm, especially when it's cold. I don't like the cold. So he did. He surprised me. So to take me somewhere in January. So I'm grateful for that, and it really moved me, because that's something that I love traveling, and so that he acknowledged that he heard me a couple of months ago and set that all up. So I was moved by that. Okay. I really was.
That's one of my things of like trying to, because it's so easy to be self-caught in what moves the needle for me. I'm trying to be cognizant of this, and please comment on this too, y'all. And you do the same thing too, of like, I'm trying to let me listen, let me actively act, and then make that a part of what it is, even if it's not natural for me to do those things. So it's like, it just takes work to do that. And so like, taking initiative to do
Yeah.
things. So,
And the guys, and I would say this too. Now you don't have to be like Jeff, a
Yeah.
baller, and be like.
Please don't take this.
I'm just like,
I got you.
but no, but you know, it don't have to be taken on a trip or something like that. But just listening to your spouse, male and female, listen to your spouse to see what their needs or what you hear. You know, pick up on things that you hear them saying. And just make it happen. You know, it could be something in the city. If you hear them person saying, "Hey, I want to go to the gun range," you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah,
something.
sure,
You know, do that, or you know, just whatever. You know, whatever it takes. Just listen and be more in tune with your spouse. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in self that we forget about our spouse. And remember, it's more so about the unit more so than the one.
Yeah, we talked about
So just make sure you just listening to it and just being more in tune. And if you truly be in tune with your spouse, I assure you it would pay off on the long run. So yeah.
So the love term is out of 16. What is one thing? Ask them. What's one thing I could do?
Right.
I could do that would mean the most to you. And listen attentively. Don't say, "Oh, I be doing it already." You know what I'm saying? Like listen attentively. And take notes. If you need to bring a little notepad, and then just close it up and say thank you, and then let your actions speak for you outside of what that means. And so listen with your heart is what I wrote down. Listen with your heart, and not just because you listen with your ears. Sometimes you want to. Let me tell you about this. I do be doing it. I give as much. I take you out all the time. So many times it's easy to get defensive, and you're not hearing what that person's saying. So when you were saying that, my initial thought was I do, and I was like, okay. Let me do what I would want to happen for me, because if I say, hey, like mine is doing this, like spending quality time. If you say, oh, I spend quality time, it's like, oh, let me just go. There you go. And so it just
that person would automatically shut down.
So don't do that too, of what you don't want done to you. So it's easy to tell somebody else, like, I see you doing that, but same thing for you saying, hey, Jeff, listen what it is. Take notes, close the notepad up, and then you just make those actions happen. So there you go. So we're going to end with the Mister's Mantra every episode. And you may be arguing through this entire episode. We talked about before. And on the last episode you heard, we crazy. We're going, you like, they got more problems than we got. But hopefully that encourages you to stay together. Okay? So get together. Hey. I want you forever. And ever. In times of good and bad and happy and sad. Oh, he's saying something. He smokes something. So look at your spouse. Look at your spouse. Look him in the eyes. Okay. Got your hat on. Get under the little church hat. They got one. And look at him and say, I like you. I love you. And I want you. Get a little sugar. You ain't sick on you. That sugar good. I like sugar. I'm a sugar addict. Except for so. We love you. God loves you. And ain't nothing you can do
Happy
about
New
it.
Year. We're praying that many blessings upon your relationship, your families, everything for 2020. We pray that God just do exceedingly and abundantly above all things that you can ask or think. We pray so much. We're praying that families stay together, stay connected, and that you just continue to love on each other like Christ loves us each and every day. But we pray that you practice forgiveness, and we pray that you practice patience, and we pray that you practice so much love upon each other and listening. Yes. So
listening and acting. Don't just hear closing.
And we just hope that everybody just be more intentional this year. 2020 is the start of a new decade, so it's the start of new changes and bring about changes, and just everything. Just so grateful and just so excited about what this year could bring. 2019 was what it was. You're going to let it go, and we're going to move forward in 2020, but reflect on 2019, and grow and improve upon it. And no matter what stage you are in your life, remember, it is never too late. That's my
that's your closing words up there. So that'll do it there. And so if you listen by yourself, get with your partner, listen to this episode, man. It really takes like getting together and talking and communicating those times. And if you're like a person, all right, like Miss Mr. saying, like, hey, I just want to wind out, like, take today, if their partner say, hey, I really want to listen to the episode with you, take the initiative to do that and listen to that with them and push. Well, if you're at this point now, you already listened to the episode. But for a future time, listen to them and do what you're saying. Be cognizant of your own weaknesses. Say, hey, I'm not giving them the best. If they're a priority to me, they shouldn't be last on the list. And so it comes out in your actions too. So you can do it. You can do it. Everybody can get better at what we're doing. We're all growing. We're all getting it. So let's sing them out.
Laugh, learn, love.
That's what we did.
Laugh, learn, love.
We're reflecting.
Laugh, learn, love.
It's the Mr. Mr. Podcast Show.
Laugh, learn, love.
Come on with us.
Laugh, learn, love.
Tell another person
Laugh,
about
learn, love.
It's the Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Podcast Show. Yeah.
And that's our show.
Y'all tell another human being about it. Follow us on social media. Share it with somebody.